the emotions. How much have we heard that your emotional state has a huge effect on how your body operates? And now, you know, with some of the groundbreaking work by Candace Pert, showing us what neuropeptides do, and neurotransmitters and chemicals of actual emotion that flood our bodies and how our cells respond to that. We're far more aware of how our emotional state affects our health. And unfortunately, when we go through a modern medical treatment process for a lot of ailments, we often end up with a negative emotional attitude. We're just coping. We experience a lot of anxiety, fear, weakness, depression. We may feel completely out of control, that our life is in someone's hands, that we have to turn our lives over to someone who knows more than us, has studied more than us, they have more education, more knowledge, more experience. And so we can often feel powerless and helpless and hopeless. And it's a very debilitating feeling to feel that way. And it does have an effect on our health. So the emotional state of the type of medicine that we're choosing can often have, you know, ill effects or beneficial effects. Now, I do know some people who have done everything they can doing things naturally, but they finally reached a point where they felt like, okay, I feel like I really do need this surgery. But instead of having that coping and depression about it, they felt very positive about it, and they were able to go through the surgery, and because they had a completely different emotional state about it, they had wonderful success. So in natural healing, we focus a lot on making sure that you're having a positive attitude, that you feel empowered, strengthened, excited about what's possible for you, about what you can feel like. And we really stress, you know, allowing yourself to experience joy and gratitude. Gratitude is huge when it comes to healing. Everybody ought to get a gratitude journal. This is my personal advice. Get a gratitude journal, write in it every day. Our health is our accountability. And this is what I think we've forgotten, that we all innately know how to heal our bodies. Our bodies know how to heal themselves. When we listen, we will be led. We will be guided and directed to the things that are going to work for us. But I have to say, in that process, it would be my advice to do not get fixated on a cure. And the reason I say this is because I cannot tell you how many relatives I have who have had health problems, and so they've sought out a lot of different natural healing modalities or other treatments, alternative treatments, complementary treatments, in order to manage their illness. And their whole life becomes about a search. And so searching and being, you know, and trying to find wellness becomes their identity, and they never find it. They are perpetually ill because they have forgotten how to just live. So while you're in the process of healing, it would be my advice to please do not become fixated on your healing process. If you are in a very acute state, if you're on the verge of death, you really need to probably throw yourself into your healing. But I would really, really advise that you also spend some time just enjoying your life. Spend some time enjoying the people around you, spend some time in gratitude, spend some time doing things that don't have anything to do with your healing process. You know, go fly a kite, go ride a bike, go skydiving, whatever you have to do. So this is the difference between, you know, natural healing and modern medicine. And again, if you're trying to replace drugs with herbs, you are likely going to have difficulty because herbs do not work in a medical model where you are trying to halt, control, or suppress what your body is doing. Herbs do not do that. They work with the body's processes. They speed them up. They speed up the body's natural healing ability. And so you have to know how your body heals in order to be able to utilize herbs for speeding those healing processes up. And so that's what we're going to talk about next. So first of all, I want to make it really clear. Your health is your responsibility. It is not the doctor's job to make you well. It is not your family member's job to make you well. It's not their job to bring you juice and tea. It's not their job to give you daily massages and hot and cold baths. It is not their job. It is your job. I recall a woman who, she was actually giving a talk, and she said that when she was born, a few weeks after she was born, her mother threw her in a dumpster. And while she was in the dumpster, she has very vivid memory of this at 3 weeks old. She remembers dying. And she said in her near-death experience that she met with the equivalent of what we would call an angel. And while she was in this state, she kept telling the angel she didn't want to go back. The angel announced to her that she needed to go back. And she said, but I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back there. Nobody loves me. Nobody wants me. They threw me away. And the angel told her, it is no one else's job to love you. It is your job. And when she realized that, then she was okay coming back. And she said she spent her life loving herself the way she wanted other people to love her. And she was one of the most powerful, kind, generous, compassionate women I think I have ever encountered in my life. And that is what it takes. We hear a lot of people struggling with their relationships and struggling with life because we have placed responsibility for self-love onto others, and it is not their job. It's not their job to love you. It's not their job to heal you. It's not their job to cure you. It's not your doctor's job. It's not your chiropractor's job. It's nobody's job but your own. So you created your own level of health with the way that you've treated your body, the way that you eat, the way you move, the way you think, the way you feel, what you believe. And because you created all of that, you have the power to change it. You do. And I'm here to tell you, I have seen people alive and walking who should be dead because of what happened to them. So your healing is absolutely within your control. It is within your power to do. So in natural healing, we absolutely place 100% of responsibility on the client. I refuse to see a client who was brought to me by a family member, because the family member is more invested in that person's healing than they are. When you are finally invested in your own healing, you'll get yourself to the right person. So the responsibility for your health is yours. It's yours alone. It's no one else's. And taking care of your health is your first priority. And it is an act of love towards the people in your life. When you take care of yourself, you are loving others. And until you've taken care of a parent who did not take care of themselves, and they're in the midst of dying, then you will understand what it means by, wow, if you had taken care of yourself, this would be a whole lot easier on us, you know? So take care of yourself. It is an act of love to the people who care about you. Now, unfortunately, in modern medicine, we've gotten the idea that, you know, you caught the disease, you're an unlucky victim. The doctor is essentially, we let them play God with our lives. It's not their life to take responsibility for. So, you know, nobody's going to save you. No one is going to care about your health more than you do. Nobody. And you are the expert on your body because you're the one who's in it. You're the one dealing with it morning, noon, and night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are the one who is in it. You are more of an expert on your body than anyone else ever will be. So just remember that. Okay. Now, when we come to swapping, herbal and natural medicine cannot be plugged into the modern medicine model and expected to work. And hopefully you kind of see why. The body is a highly complex, highly integrated system, and it knows exactly how to heal itself, and it will do it when it's given the proper building blocks and the proper environment. Where drugs are designed to interfere in this process, herbs will not work the same way. They do not interfere. Therefore, they can't be swapped into the same type of system and expected to work the same as drugs. A completely different healing model has to be employed if you're going to get herbs to work for you. And healthy foods provide what the body is lacking. Herbs can speed up this process, but they are not a substitution for proper nutrition, movement, and mental health. And I remember Dr. Christopher used to say, if the diet is right, herbs are of no need. If the diet is wrong, herbs are of no use. So he always stressed, know your nutrition and know your herbs and use them together. So while you are waiting for nutrition to correct the problem, which often takes longer, use herbs to get yourself out of an acute situation. But do not ignore the diet.